Two massive winter storms are about to slam into 38 states in the next 72 hours. And if you live anywhere from Kansas to New York, you need to hear this right now. Here is what is happening. A storm train, not one storm but two back-to-back systems, is locking onto the central and eastern United States starting tomorrow night. We are talking heavy snow, dangerous ice, and by midweek a severe weather outbreak with possible tornadoes. And here is the thing, the timing on this is brutal. Storm number 1 hits while you are sleeping. Storm number 2 hits while you are commuting. So stay with me because I am going to break down exactly when this hits your city, your state, hour by hour. And at the 5-minute mark, I am going to reveal the bigger pattern shift coming in the second week of March that almost nobody is talking about yet. That part could change everything. Now let me set the scene for you. Right now, today, it is quiet. A high-pressure system is sitting over the northern plains, a little band of snow from South Dakota into southern Michigan. Nothing major, but do not let that fool you, because by tomorrow night, moisture is going to surge over the Rockies like a dam breaking, and when that moisture crashes into the cold air already locked in place across the Midwest, that is when things get serious fast. So let me walk you through this storm by storm, city by city. Storm number 1. It starts tomorrow evening across Kansas and Nebraska. By late tomorrow night, around 10 p.m. to midnight Central Time, heavy snow begins developing across northern Missouri. St. Louis, you are right in the crosshairs. This pushes into Illinois overnight. Now here is the twist that makes this storm tricky. Right along the freezing line, a narrow corridor of freezing rain is going to set up. We are talking Kansas City, stretching back into Kentucky. And the difference between 3 inches of snow and a 1/4 inch of ice on your power lines could come down to just 50 miles. That is how tight this setup is. By early Monday morning, this system is sliding into the East Coast. Snow and freezing rain pushing into Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania. And here is what nobody tells you about these transitional storms. The warm air rides over the top of the cold air that is stubbornly sitting at the surface. So it can be 33 degrees at your front door and 45 degrees 500 feet above your head. That is how you get freezing rain instead of snow. And freezing rain is 10 times more dangerous than snow. Now let me give you the city-by-city breakdown for storm number 1, Kansas City. Snow and freezing rain beginning tomorrow evening around 8 p.m. Heaviest precipitation overnight into early Monday. Expect a glazing to 1/10 of an inch of ice, St. Louis. Heavy wet snow starting around 10 p.m. tomorrow could see 2 to 4 inches by Monday morning, possible mixing with freezing rain. Springfield, Illinois. Snow developing after midnight. Accumulations possible by Monday morning commute, Louisville and Evansville. Wintry mix arriving early Monday morning around 4 a.m. Snow mixing with sleet, northern Kentucky. Freezing rain possible through Monday morning. Watch for slick roads, Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Light freezing rain and snow possible Monday evening into Tuesday morning. Mostly a nuisance event, but still enough to cause problems on the roads. Philadelphia and southern Pennsylvania. Ice accumulation possible Tuesday into early Wednesday. 1/10 of an inch is not a lot until it is on your windshield at 6 a.m. New York City and the Hudson Valley. Light snow and ice possible Tuesday. Not a repeat of that, nor Easter from last week, but still enough to slow things down. Boston and New England. This is where storm number 2 becomes the bigger story. Tuesday into Wednesday, widespread 3 to 6 inches of snow is on the table. Ice accumulation on top of that. New England, you are not done with winter yet, but wait, let me tell you about what is brewing further south because this is where things take a sharp turn. While the northern half of the country is dealing with snow and ice, the southern tier is loading up like a spring powder keg. All that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico is slamming into the cold air plunging down from Canada. And when those two air masses collide, you get severe weather. Wednesday, March 4th. The Storm Prediction Center has already issued a Day 5 slight risk. That is level 2 out of 5. And they almost never issue that this far out unless they are confident something is coming. The target zone right now includes Dallas-Fort Worth, Little Rock, southeastern Oklahoma, and deep East Texas. We are talking damaging winds over 60 miles per hour, large hail possibly up to golf ball size, and yes, a few tornadoes are on the table. Dallas-Fort Worth. Severe storms possible Wednesday afternoon through the evening hours. Stay weather aware if you have any plans that day. Little Rock, right in the bullseye. Strong storms possible late Wednesday into Wednesday night. Shreveport, and East Texas. Storms could fire as early as Wednesday afternoon, with the main threat being damaging straight-line winds. Memphis. You are on the northern edge of this threat. Storms possible Wednesday evening, Oklahoma City. Depending on how far north the warm sector extends, you could see storms Wednesday afternoon. Now here is the part I promised you at the 5-minute mark. And honestly, this might be the most important thing I say in this entire video. The second week of March is about to go absolutely haywire. Both the European model and the GFS model are showing a parade of storm systems dropping off the Rockies and marching across the Great Plains, the Ohio Valley, and all the way to the East Coast. We are not talking about one storm. We are talking about a conveyor belt of energy hitting the same areas over and over again. The Climate Prediction Center, actual human forecasters, has issued a high risk of heavy precipitation between March 7th and March 10th. That is a 3-day window where some areas could see over 6 inches of rain. Not snow. Rain. And here is where it gets wild. Dew points, that is how we measure moisture in the air, are projected to reach the mid-60s all the way up into Ohio, Indiana, and even lower Michigan in early March. That is a setup you normally see in late April or May. We are talking temperatures in the 70s and 80s across the southern plains and the Gulf Coast. Some spots in South Texas have already hit 100 degrees in the last few days. Let that sink in. So what does all this moisture and warmth mean? It means every single storm system that rolls through between March 5th and March 12th has severe weather potential. Thunderstorms, damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, and flooding, especially flooding. When you drop 4 to 6+ inches of rain on ground that is already saturated from weeks of winter storms, that water has nowhere to go. Let me give you the broader city outlook for the second week of March. Atlanta, warm and stormy. Temperatures in the 70s with multiple rounds of heavy rain. Nashville, right in the firing line for severe weather and heavy rain multiple days next week. Birmingham, warm, moist air surging in. Severe storms possible multiple times between March 5th and March 10th. Indianapolis, well above average temperatures, 50s and 60s, but with that warmth comes instability and storm potential. Columbus, Ohio, dew points getting into the 60s. Storms and heavy rain likely late next week into next weekend. Charlotte and the Carolinas, here is a twist for you. A cold air damming event early next week will drop temperatures Monday and Tuesday. It is going to feel like winter showed back up, but by Wednesday, that cold air gets shoved out and warm, moist air takes over. Then the storm train arrives. Chicago and the Great Lakes, a temperature roller coaster. Below zero wind chills early this week, then 40s and 50s by midweek. Possible wintry weather on the north side of any passing storm systems, Minneapolis and the Dakotas. A clipper system is dropping a few inches of snow today. More cold coming tomorrow with bitterly cold wind chills. But even up north, the warm-up is coming by late next week. Denver and the Front Range. March is normally your biggest snow month. Multiple chances for accumulating snow over the next 10 days. Houston and San Antonio. Warm and increasingly humid. Thunderstorms likely mid to late next week. Jacksonville and Central Florida. Thunderstorms firing today already. More rounds of storms expected through next week. Pittsburgh and West Virginia. Ice and snow possible early this week. Warmer and stormier by the second half. Portland and Seattle. You are the odd ones out. Below average temperatures are trying to hold on while the rest of the country warms up. Now here is something I need you to pay attention to. There is growing chatter in the modeling about a sudden stratospheric warming event, a disruption of the polar vortex that could slam the brakes on this warm pattern around March 10th or 11th. If that happens, we could see a dramatic crash in temperatures. We are talking 25 to 30 degrees below average, pushing into areas that were just experiencing spring-like weather days before. And when that kind of cold air smashes into a loaded moisture pattern, you get wild weather. Late-season snow events further south than expected, more ice storms, more severe weather on the temperature boundaries. We do not know yet if that cold air will fully deliver, but models are teasing it hard, and I promise you we will be covering that in the next video. So here's what I need you to do. Drop a comment right now with your city and state. I want to know where you are watching from so I can make sure we cover your area in the next update. And if you have not already, make sure you are following this channel because we are about to enter the most active stretch of weather this country has seen in months. Multiple storms, severe weather, possible flooding, and a potential late-season polar vortex disruption. This is going to be a wild ride through March. Do not miss the next update. I have a feeling it is going to be even bigger than